Guys, don't you want to know what courses are being taught in Turner English College? Let's talk about that. So, Nerada, what courses are available in Turner English College?
Yeah. So general English, of course. General English going from pretty much a complete beginner. As long as you know the alphabet, then that's the base, and then all the way up to advanced levels of an IELTS equivalent of 7.5. After that, then students really need to move on to some higher studies. But we do high school preparation as well, so we're one of the few schools that are registered for under 18s and to do high school. But they're basically our two main courses. All of our courses have like a test preparation focus.
Wow.
Again, sort of...
So even the general English as well too?
Students don't realise it, but they do. We do.
That's excellent.
Because sooner or later, a student is going to have to take an English language test, and the higher the English language mark, the more doors it open. So we start them very early on sort of little basic, test-taking strategies to get them up to, a high level of English. And it speeds up the acquisition of the language.
Wow, excellent.
Without a doubt.
So, this is out of this question, but usually if students come and enroll at Turner English College, what's the normal average duration of their studies at the college?
Good. We have a pretty long duration, so we have students who start with 20 weeks to 40 weeks, but we also have a very high extension rate. So once students start at Turner, if they can get their English up to a certain level, 5.5 or 6 or 6.5, then their life will be very different. So that motivates them, and then they extend their course. So we've had students during COVID, the government was more flexible, so we had students who stayed with us for 3 years. But at the moment, probably the average is about a year. But, they don't come thinking that they're going to study for a year, so they come, studying for 20 weeks. After 20 weeks, they see and feel the result, and then they know that if I've gotten this far in 20 weeks, if I can just get this far, I'm going to get another door open, it's going to open up job opportunities, I'm feeling more confident, and then so they stay,
Wow,
it's very common,
Honestly, I've been working in this industry for a long time, as you guys all know, and there are not many extensions happening in the English schools, to be honest, but that was quite surprising that students are studying up to 1 year at an English school. So, okay, now, I believe you guys will have that question. One of the questions popped in my head was, if it is 1 year of English studies, it's going to be very expensive. That's what a lot of students will feel. But do Turner English College have the installment plan that students can pay in installment?
Good question. We understand, not just me, but my whole team, understand that most of the students are here because they want a better life. So they're trying to survive, they're trying to work, they're trying to learn English as well, and we appreciate the fact that they've chosen to spend a year of their lives at Turner English College. So basically what I'm saying is that Turner English College will do anything it needs to or can within its power to help the students achieve that goal. And one of those is providing payment plans to help them and take that pressure off. Because if they're stressed, I can't teach them anyway.
You're right.
So I have to have them at a certain comfortable zone to get my job done.
Wow.
And if they're working,
it's amazing thinking,
making money, getting their bills paid, then they'll concentrate in class.
All right. Okay, so since you have mentioned about the 3 different courses there, right? And general English is divided into 5 levels, is that correct? Or is it something different here?
So the general English course itself will you can study 2 years and not repeat content. So that's about 8 levels, but that's more of what the teachers know rather than the students. So it's basically when we run classes, we run about 3 levels in the school currently.
Okay, great. And what are the levels categorized with?
We would categorize the current levels that we have as elementary, pre-intermediate, and then like an upper intermediate.
Right, okay, beautiful. All right, that sounds good. And once they get to an upper intermediate level, they wouldn't have any problem of communicating, or finding a job out there, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
usually.
It's all about, at that level, refining bad habits and going deeper into language, not just learning more language.
Ah, I see. Okay.
So, yeah, and then that's when it really sort of becomes an individualised approach to the student, because you're not teaching general grammar structures. So we do that through projects. So currently the students have a project of creating their own podcast. So they choose a subject that they're interested in, and then they develop the scripts, and they do everything. All we do as teachers is correct their English, pick up the mistakes, tune it into more native-like speech, because you're really talking about becoming more native-like at that level. So even though I might understand them, that's not what I would say. So we teach them what a native would say to get them more native-like.
So when new students come to Turner English, how would you assess their English level, and how do they progress and upgrade their levels?
Good question. Yeah, it's a logistical nightmare for the staff, but we manage. First of all, I assess before students go to their first day. We have what we call a principal interview. So that's with me. So I interview all students, I test them, I talk a little bit about, I get to know their personality a little bit too. So if they're kind of sitting in between an intermediate and an upper intermediate, but their personality is quite hungry, then I might push them up. If they're a little bit reserved, then I might push them into the intermediate. So it's more of an individualised approach to assessment, knowing their desires, their English, and their goals, and their culture. So those kind of things are important when you assess, not just a general, here's a grammar test and you got 14 out of 20, you're going to this level. So we don't do that. As far as progression, so we have tests every 5 weeks, which is quite a high turnover.
Actually, right, but then somehow a lot of colleges or other language schools will do a turnover of 4 actually, or 10 or 12.
Yeah.
And 5 is...
Usually most early courses will do 10. Universities will do 5. But from my experience, and so it's a high turnover. And so at the end of the exam week, they don't just have exams. So exam is worth 50%, projects are worth 40%, attendance is 10%, and attitude. And then we do a consultation with them at the end of their tests, go through their results, talk about their future, and then that's where we sort of...
Do you even go through the tests, what was wrong and what was the issue there as well too?
It's a big day and it's a great day, and students, we know they value it because of the attendance rate on that day. And we actually had 100% attendance for the consultations, which...
That's excellent.
Yeah,
Wow,
so
how can
they
you complain?
value it.